Well, it's good to be back, and hello everybody, and welcome back to Chaos Creations. Now, this is going to be a semi-long video. Very sorry, but I just got to clear the air and get a few things out there. First of all, my last video was about that big wooden object. Thank you, Mr. Brooks, for letting me know what it was. It was a dominatrix, and I no longer have said item. It's been returned to its original owners, and they've been very nice about it. Mostly, though I do have, I did scan it, so there is a 3D printable version of it. I did tell them that, but anyway. So I ran into somebody about a month ago, and they were telling me just how bad my channel was, and they told me how it sucked royally. I don't actually do anything. There's no progress or anything. It's just random da. I got upset for about 30 seconds, and then I realized, no, they're actually right. It is like that. And it is hard. I mean, I have ADHD, and I'm not on medication at the moment, so it's hard to stay focused on one project for more than a couple of months. So I had a bit of a health scare a while ago, and I had a lot of time on my hands to think. And what I found out is the beginning of this year, I wanted to have like an army for every sort of game out there for GW. So a kill team, a Necromunda, a Blood Bowl, a 40k, and fantasy, old world. Not Age of Sigmar, because there's only like 6 people that play that game anyway, and they're not going to be local. In fact, I don't know anybody ever that's done Age of Sigmar in all my years. I don't know anyone that's ever played it and enjoyed it. So the running gag with me is, there's like 6 or 4 people that play it, and they're not local. And after a while, I realized I've got about 12, 13 massive tubs full of terrain for Blood Bowl, Necromunda, and all the rest, which is fine, but I wasn't playing any games. I mean, why have 4 Necromunda teams with lots of terrain if I'm not playing any games? It was just driving me a bit crazy. So what I've done is I'm going to keep the teams for everything, but I'm getting rid of all the terrain. I'm giving it off to friends, giving it off to gaming clubs. I don't have the room for it. I'm going to focus on fantasy. Now, in fantasy, I have had one love affair for about 40 years. And that's with these people, the undead. And it started off with this book, and this book was my Bible for gorgeous maps. Just back in the day, these things were, and I would spend hours, like a centerfold, looking at this map going, oh yeah, there's Kislev, and down here's the land of the dead and such. And I would read this back to front, and well worn. This is actually my second book. My first book, it was pages falling out. And this is back, I think this is 4th edition. It's got spells and different types of games, even still little mini maps and so forth. It's beautiful. And Empire sort of army and so forth. And with this, I had around, if I remember rightly, it was about 25,000, that's right, 25,000 points of undead. Most of it was metal, and I had games like, we did Army of Darkness from Evil Dead 3. Somebody had like 10,000 points of Empire and a castle, and I had 25,000 points of undead, and I had to siege the castle and try to get to the Necronomicon. And we did have like an evil Ash character, and good Ash, and he had like his car with propellers and such, and if I could get hold of the book, I would instantly raise half my army up again and things like that. And these games would last like 3 or 4 weeks every weekend, just going hardcore and having the most blast of my life. Unfortunately, then plastic took over. Now I still have 90% of my undead army in metal. Now don't get me wrong, I still have lots of plastics, I have plastic skeletons, and I have the lots and lots of the original plastic zombies. These are all magnetized, funny enough. Tons of them. Literally, I think I've got like 300 zombies of the old school ones. Plastic ones, skeletons, I don't even want to know. I still have like 5 or 6 boxes of plastic skeletons not even put together. So that should just tell you my skeleton collection. But that said, I also have a lot of the original metal ones. These ones here. I think they were called the Legion of the Damned, I believe they were. And I've got, I think it's like 60 to 80 of these guys. And, you know, I'm now starting to repaint them all and such. But most of it's in metal. So, you know, you've got like your old Stogogi, I think it's called, like vampire. Now, if it's seeming a bit weird, I am with a new camera holder that arrived today. You know, it's on like a metal harness and such, so if it wobbles around a bit, I am sorry, but it's all I could afford, and, you know, it's not wobbling that much, is it? I hope. Anyway, so, you know, I've got some like that. What have we got here? This is originally a death elemental, I think he is. And I'm using him like a white. Just let me close the door because the Zumba has started up and it's going to be vacuuming the floors. Bear with me. This is a Necromancer from, I believe, the old Mordenheim box set. Very nice model. And we have, he's also from the Mordenheim box set. He's a vampire, funnily enough. Blah, 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 blah. And I've got lots of little like Necromancer models. And I'm also solidifying and gooping up my old black coach. So I'm putting that through the Dettol at the moment. And it's going to come out nice and shiny. Now, a bit of calculations. I have 2 black coaches, 2 Dieter von Hellschnecks, which is like a Necromancer on a Manticore, so I've got 2 of him. I believe one of the Manticores was missing a foot because I got it off a dude for like 20 bucks back in the day. Don't even know how much they would cost now. And I have, of course, which I painted up over the last couple of days, my zombie dragon, looking very, very snazzy. And I went with like the graveyard bit here, and I put him on like a bit of tombstone down the bottom there. So he's looking quite nice. And I've got his rider over there. Where's his rider? Right here. So his rider's right there. He does come with a shield, but the shield is kind of stupid. It's like a little bull face on it. Not really undead looking. So I might try to find some of the coffin shields I've got and whack him on that. And hopefully he'll do pretty good. But I've got Vargus, I've got, you know, other vampires and so forth. And if you want to go way back, I've got some of the original metal zombies that GW put out. So, yeah. Now, what I'm going to be doing over the next couple of months is, hopefully, metal undead. In fact, I'm going to try to do my entire army, for the most part, in metal. Now, don't get me wrong. Look, there's going to be some aspects. I mean, the Hex race and so forth, they only came out in plastic. So I might convert some Black Knights or something and try to make them into Hex race. But otherwise, you know, I will have to have some plastic because it's just the nature of the beast. Also, things like this is the Coven. Now, this has been badly broken. I've actually had to replace some of the arms with like skeletal arms. And there's a couple of heads that were missing, so I've had to replace them and such. I don't know where the other ribbon is, and I don't know whether... I know I own the vampires that go on here. I just can't find them. So what I might end up doing is just finding a nice, you know, miniature to pop in there like that and go from that. You know, he's a vampire. He's got little tiny fangs on him. So, you know, he might have to do the job. With this, I'm going to have to completely repaint it. So I'm going to spray paint it white and go from there. So what you're going to see from me over the next couple of months is metal miniatures, old school metal, old hammer, vampire counts being done. I'm not too sure if that will be painting guides per se, because, everyone's got painting guides. And painting in metal, while it is very different to painting in plastic, I'm sure there are a bazillion things out there that, show you this. So what does my channel have to offer that others don't? Well, I still have a lot of contacts, and some of them have been talking. Now, look, if you followed my channel for a while now, you would have heard, I don't know, about 3 to 6 months ago, me talking about them redoing all the old world miniatures. They were going to bring out packs of, or little boxes of, new beastmen and new elves and so forth. And they've come out with this Battle March box sets and so forth. We're going to see that more. So Tomb Kings, you'll get whole new miniature ranges of that. New miniature ranges of, the Wood Elves and so forth. And they're coming out in box sets and Battle March box sets and so forth. And this, from what I understand from my contacts, is tip of the iceberg. So they are working on an undead book. It's not a vampire counts book. It is an undead book. So it will have Nagash. It will have Heinrich Kemmler. It will have Krell. It'll have necromantic spells. It'll have, necromantic, chariots. So back in the day, we had chariots that were like made of rib cages, and they sort of went up and had like horses and such, and skeletons were riding on it. If you're old enough to remember, they're coming back. So there's going to be a whole lot of new stuff, and that's old that's coming out new again. But that's not going to be for quite some time. I've also been told that Mordenheim has been put on hold because there is a big problem. What big problem? I don't know what it is, but I'm really happy that Mordenheim has been put on hold. Old Mordenheim, the original Mordenheim, is perfect. It ain't broken. Don't fix it. Mordenheim is perfect the way it is. So that has been talked about a lot. Battlefleet Gothic apparently has been finished, and it's now sitting on a shelf. And when I mean sitting on a shelf, do you remember last year when we had Warhammer Quest, the new version, come out that sucked balls but had fantastic miniatures? Right. So that was done a couple of years ago. It was then just popped on a shelf, and then one Christmas or whenever they needed a surge of money, they just bring it out. And they've done that with a couple of games like Mordenheim, Battlefleet Gothic, and a few other games. And they're now just sitting on a shelf waiting to go into mass production whenever they need it. So they just flick a switch and go, all right, we need a product, bang, away we go. And there we go. And they start to go mass production, and they bring it out, and then they just forget about it. Much like, there's been a few board games out there. I'm not going to mention their names, but we know games that have been out there, played for a while, and then just disappeared in darkness. And they all had fantastic miniatures. And my Warhammer Quest, I've still got my original Warhammer Quest back from, I think it was the late 90s, early 2000s. And I recently picked up a whole lot of the booklets and so forth from a guy called Little Monk, who is fantastic, really good. I would recommend Little Monk a lot. Okay, so that's it. So my channel will be mostly about metal miniatures, vampire counts, for the moment, until the ADHD takes me somewhere else, but I don't think it's going to happen for a while. And also gossip, rumors, and everything else. If I hear anything interesting, I'll let you know. I mean, it's weird. I've heard all sorts of stuff lately, and you take everything with a grain of salt. It's all lies, it's all rumors, it's all, bullshit, until GW rubber stamps us and says, hey, look at this fantastic item. And the 40k stuff is rife at the moment. And I've told people I'm good not knowing 40k stuff. I mean, there's plenty of people out there talking 40k. There's Master Valric, who is a fantastic guy, and I really appreciate his channel a lot. But, there's enough gossip about 40k that would fill like 8 buckets. It'd fill a gargant, for goodness sakes. So, I'm good not talking about that. I mean, if it's something really juicy like Legion of the Damned, I love Legions of the Damned. I love the fact that they just appear on the battlefield, blow shit up, and then disappear again. That is awesome. It's the only chapter in 40k Space Marines that I would play as an actual army, if they ever did it. Which I don't think they should. It should be a case of just a detachment turns up, vadoom, bang, 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 bang. Everything dead? Right, vadoom, and away they go again. If you have any questions, just ask. Oh, I do have a question for some people out there. The Old World Undead book I talked about. Now yeah baby. I was actually thinking of doing a while ago my version of an undead book for the Old World. If I pop out a few ideas for characters and so forth, could you guys just give me some feedback about what you think? Is it too powerful, not powerful enough, and so forth? Because I'd love to have like just a book I can play on the battlefield and just roll some dice and say, all right, ba-dump, there's Nagash. Let's go down on this road and see what happens. All right, everyone have a great day. This is Cal signing off. I'm going to review this video. Now, I will say one last thing before I go. I don't script any of this stuff. It's just me randomly talking. I have ideas about what I'm doing, but I do go off on tangents, okay? So everyone have fun. Any questions, just ask, and I'll talk to you later on. Bye, and remember, love the game, love life, and this is Chaos Out.